Seal Podcast, episode number 183 for 14th of July, 2023. I'm your host, Fraser. I'm joined on my left by Neil.
Hello.
And on my right. And Larry.
Yep.
Larry Herb.
Larry Herb. Recently retired from Xbox.
Is it how recent? He's in.
That's in today.
So for the people listening, Neil's background is of Larry Herb. Oh, he retired today, did he?
Yep.
Oh, he was Major Nelson. Yeah.
Yes.
I didn't hear that piece of news.
Breaking news.
Breaking news. All right. Well, before we do that, on my right is Dave.
Hello.
Dave, do you have a little bit of a mark on your nose there?
God, yeah. Do you like
that? What have you done? You've been in a fight?
DIY.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I thought it was sunburn.
It's not quite as cool, is it?
No. It was two good scratches across.
Actually, it depends how you did it.
I turned and scraped my face against a metal drawer runner.
Nice.
Oh.
Yeah. So it had extended when I didn't realise it had.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I tell my wife.
I have that problem a lot.
Oh, it's low-hanging fruit here at the Seal Podcast today.
Mm-hmm. Will you expect anything more?
Absolutely not. No chance. So I'm not sure if we have a feature-packed show today or not. It's that sort of slow down summer, it feels like, in a lot of things, but we'll see how we go on. There's a couple of things in there. Should we start off any football updates?
Well, nothing really to announce, I guess. A couple more people joined the league. That's about it, really. Obviously, a few more signings are happening or not happening. Luton actually signed a player.
Oh, yeah?
I'd finalised my team, but I've just been
Have you got a naughty name?
I did have a naughty name. I said Dave's Ballbags. Right. Apparently, Ballbags is not allowed, so I changed it to a load of cobblers.
Yeah, that's acceptable. It's your local team's nickname, so
that's it. But yeah, no. Apparently, Xhaka has been transferred to somewhere.
Oh yeah, Granit Xhaka.
Oh, has he?
Formerly of Arsenal, has gone to Bayer Leverkusen.
Oh, I thought I've got a sneaking suspicion I might put him in there.
You haven't got Bukayo Saka, maybe?
No, Xhaka.
No, wow. He won't be getting you any points.
Yeah, he's gone.
No.
Yeah. He was returning a rather appetizing points per million from his stats last season.
But that was based on last year's price, was it?
Correct, yeah. Last year's points divided by his cost.
I can tell you he's going to be getting a very unimpressive 0 points per million this year.
So, yes.
So I think I have to actually sub him out now because I've finalised my team.
It doesn't matter. You got up until until game day. You can take him in and out. You can do whatever you want to your team until the final.
Okay.
Cut off, which will probably be 4 hours before the game or whatever.
6:30. Hour and a half before kickoff.
It's only an hour and a half?
Yeah. That's the deadline that's showing now. The deadline is showing.
Just to be safe. But yeah, you can play around with your team as much. When you tell me who you're going to put in instead, and I'll tell you why you're wrong.
Well, you both had Xhaka, which means you were both wrong already.
Yeah. I got 6 million to play with, so I guess.
Don't want to spend all of that.
I do.
Mm-mm.
I don't.
No, you want to leave $500,000 in the bank for sure.
What?
Why?
Because you only get one free transfer the following week, and it might be that you want to get someone who's more expensive, or they might go up.
Well, by that logic, then you should leave $1 million in the bank.
Well, yeah, but if the price rises by 0.1 million, you won't be able to get them.
Right, but ultimately,
whatever you have in the bank
is
at the beginning of the season.
Okay, but
if you have what I'm saying is, if you have a contingency plan going, I'll see how it goes, and then I'll go for them, and then you can't because you haven't got that $500,000 in the bank. So.
Right, but yeah, okay.
I'm pretty sure you offered this advice last year about keeping at least $500,000 in the bank. This is what winners do, you see. And when they lose, they forget the good advice that they offer.
What? Yeah, why would I do that? What? Yeah, I don't know. What are you talking about, mate?
Anyway.
I'd
No
like to
idea.
keep a little bit in the bank. I have none in the bank at the moment with this current loadout. I spent it all. Actually, did I?
Well,
Maybe
if
I
Harry
didn't.
Kane
Oh, no,
buggers off
no. Bizarrely, guess what I have in the bank?
$500,000.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah, there you go. You haven't forgotten your good advice from last year.
I'm just on autopilot.
I've got no idea. 5.5 mil. What? Douglas? Who's that? Douglas.
Well, we're not doing this
Lewis?
live, are we?
No,
We could be here all
I'll
night.
share. I'll
Fraser's
share.
on a time limit.
Maybe I'll share you my magical magic spreadsheet, which is not being shared with everyone. I'll let Dave in because let's face facts,
needs
he
the
use
help.
all the help. He can use all the help he can get.
That's I do.
Actually, I thought about you today, Dave. I was driving across the country with a work colleague, and I mean, it was funny. We had to drive, and he's got such a shitbox van. It was so funny. Anyway, we're driving in a shitbox van, and he doesn't like driving with other people. That's why we didn't go in my car. He was just like, I have to take my car. I don't want anyone else driving. I'm like, really? You want to drive in that shitbox? Okay, whatever. He was doing me a solid, so I wasn't going to complain too hard.
Well, at least you got there and back. Might not have got there and back in your car.
No, I tell you what, my car would have got us there and back. I don't know about that van. I've white knuckle riding that a lot of the way. And he subjected me to the Foo Fighters on the way back. He was a big Foo Fighters listener. I don't really know. I've never listened to the Foo Fighters really at all. Not that I had a problem with it, but it was just whenever I think of the Foo Fighters now, I always think of Dave.
Right.
And I think it's because you look a little bit like Dave Grohl too.
I do. Yeah, I've been told that a number of times.
He's getting quite old now. Yeah.
He is. Yes. Yeah. Every
so
time
hopefully
you see
you
him,
look like a young Dave Grohl.
I don't know. He was quite grunge. Young days. Middle age, about 40 odd. Dave Grohl.
Right.
That.
Sold.
Well, that's about what you are, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Yeah. Dave Grohl must be getting like 55, 60 now. He's getting on.
Oh, he's getting well up there, old man. Terrible business. Okay, and so nothing else on the football then?
Nah.
Who did Luton sign?
Tahith Chong, is a Dutch guy. He used to play at Man United a few years back.
Chong?
Chong, yeah.
Or Young?
Chong. CH. He's Dutch, so it's Chong.
Dutch via China or something?
No. I don't think it's China. I don't know. He may have Chinese parentage somewhere along the line. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that much about him, but he used to play at Man United. He played in the Champions League for Man United when they beat PSG, and then he wasn't good enough for Man United apparently, so he went to Birmingham, and he played an absolute blinder when they beat us 5-0 last year. So, or the year before. So,
yeah, we'll take him.
Yeah. So no, he won't be doing that to us again.
How much you pay for him?
Apparently, we paid 4.3 million, which is a club record by quite a distance.
Oh, really?
I was a bit like, really? That's a lot of money.
What position?
So I guess he plays largely central midfield nowadays. He used to play on the wing, but yeah. So he's a versatile midfielder.
Is he a playmaker?
Hopefully, playmaker and enforcer.
All eyes on Luton. Luton is the unofficial Seal podcast favorite team, right?
Is it?
Sure, why not?
Forest.
I don't think Forest was ever the unofficial Seal podcast favorite team. No, and I don't think it was mine. So that's 2 of 3 of us. Okay. And Dave, look at him. Look at the blank face he has when we're talking about football anyway. Anyway, Christian's big enough. He can take it. Sorry, Christian. All right, well, let's move on to listener stuff then. Chill Robot says, signed up for a free month of Prime and used the free Twitch sub on you lovely fuckers. All the best.
Ledge. Thank you.
Much appreciated.
Yeah, thank you very much for that. Listen up, everyone, and take note.
Got Amazon Prime.
We know it's been Prime Day. Come on.
Oh, I think I have to do my sub, actually. I think I'm... Yeah, I better remember to do that. Or I did it the other day. Oh no, I've got resubscribe there. I need to use them.
Very tardy.
Okay, what else have we got? Lord, haven't heard from Lord for a while. Nice to hear from you, mate. He says, at Neil, I played a Planet of Lana and absolutely loved it. Thanks for the recommend.
He liked it more than I did, I think. But I liked it. I just wasn't. I wouldn't say I loved it, but it was good. It is good.
Okay. Which one was that? What was that about?
It's like the colourful Limbo Inside game.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Platform puzzler.
I did try that. Yeah. I didn't get on with it.
Well, you have no soul, so.
No, I probably don't. All right, Lord, thanks very much. Appreciate that. That reminds me, I was given by Chipper Spice, and you can't see this if you're listening audio only, but gamer trivia cards. So we can actually do a quiz at the drop of a hat. So we could do a quiz as well if you want to do one. Want to do a quick quiz?
It's up to you, mate. You're on the timer.
Let's talk about what we've been doing, and then we'll... Actually, you know what? Let's do a quick quiz now. Okay.
Oh, he loves the quiz. He loves the quiz.
I'm gonna do. Should we do all of us, or are we gonna do?
How are we gonna do that then? You're gonna.
Because I think I
turn the card over to read the answers.
I turned one of the cards over, and I was able to hide the bottom before I saw it. Okay. So
I'm watching your eyes.
You can. It's all right. I'm not gonna cheat.
I can't watch your eyes because you're on the camera.
You can. Okay. All right. Okay. Question number 1. You can all play at home. We're going to do how many questions? 3 questions?
That'll do.
3 questions. All right. I got to figure out a way to make sure I don't see this. So I'm going to go up from the top. This is how
you just like poke the card out of the pack.
This is how I'm doing it. So here we go.
Okay.
Oh, here we go. This one's going to be an easy one, right? Master Chief, the protagonist of the Halo franchise. This is question number 1, by the way. If anyone
question number
wants
1.
To write this down. Master Chief, the protagonist of the Halo franchise, is so commonly associated with his code number that it becomes part of his real name. What are the 3 numbers?
What do you mean it becomes part of his real name?
Is it 545?
Anyway. No, it's 117.
Yeah, I think it's 117, right? Yeah.
Spartan 117.
Are you thinking of 343, Dave? 343 Industries. What was 343? That was part of something in the Halo lore, wasn't it, though?
Possibly back in the early ones, I don't remember. And I became the company that ended up making the Halo once Bungie had binned it off.
All right, we're going with 117 then. Oh, actually, it's got A, B, C, and D. So we could have had. Is it A 007?
Did you just make that up? Or was it actually
no?
Oh my fucking god!
Is it B 470? Is it C 777? Or is it D 117?
So, 7's a Bungie number. Did you
the
know
answer
that?
is D. There you go. See that?
Can't see that. It's just a white piece of card. I think you just made the whole thing up.
All right, here we go. Second one. Okay, I'm going to block it. Okay, see, there's the question bit up the top.
Yeah,
haven't seen the rest of it. Question number 2. In the Super Mario Brothers video game series, what kind of animal is Yoshi? Okay, there's some. Yes, all right.
Okay.
Oh, this could throw you a little bit here.
Could it?
A, dragon. B, dog.
Okay.
C, lizard. Or D, dinosaur.
It's D, isn't it? Dinosaur.
It's dinosaur. Yeah.
Is he not a dragon? Is he not a dragon?
Not a dragon. It's a dinosaur.
Dinosaur? All right. Unanimous.
If we get this wrong, we're going to look pretty dumb.
Majority rules. Sorry. D. The answer is D, dinosaur. Phenomenal.
Excellent.
2 out of 2.
I thought it was going to something like an ape, like for Donkey Kong or something, was one of the potential answers.
Lord, we need you back.
I almost thought it was Yoshi was the species because you get different types of Yoshis as well. Yeah,
like different colours.
Yeah.
Are they different species?
Subspecies, I guess. But yeah, they have different powers, don't they?
They're all dinosaurs, Dave.
They're all dinosaurs.
There's only one race, the dinosaur race.
Question number 3. Oh, what? Actually, I don't know. What is Sonic the Hedgehog's sidekick Tails' real name?
Ooh.
I mean, I can cut most of that out. What is Tails' real name? I know this one.
I don't know this one. I know what.
I know
Is-
the miles one. That's miles per hour.
Isn't
That's
that
the
him?
red
Isn't
one.
it Miles Tails Prower?
No. Tails is a fox with two
Is it?
tails.
Who's the echidna? Is that Miles?
No, that's the bad guy.
Is it?
Isn't that Mike?
I don't fucking know.
That might be Shadow.
All right, here we go.
Go on, let's have an A, B, C, D on this one.
Is it A, Speed Fox?
No.
Is it B, Miles Prower? C, Rapid Roy? Or D, Dr. Eggman?
Oh God.
Well, it's got to be miles per hour, isn't it?
I thought it was the red one, but yeah, all right, miles per hour.
That's
The answer is
Knuckles,
B,
is it? The
Miles
red
per
one?
hour.
Knuckles.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Knuckles
That's
the
an
echidna.
echidna, is it?
Yep.
I don't
Well
know what
done.
an echidna is.
3 out of 3.
Well,
I don't think. You
I
only
could
get
have had
3.
I'd have had an
otherwise
educated
we'll-
guess at that one, even if a few
We can keep
haven't
this
said.
going for, I reckon, what's that? 1, 2, 3. There's a good 20 episodes worth of cards there, I think.
I like them though
Thank
because
you,
we're getting
Chipper.
them right.
Yeah, thank you, Chipper. Appreciate it. That would be the emergency one, Lord, when you don't send one. That's what we got to fall back on. That's the quality we have to fall back on, mate. Ain't pretty, is it?
You're not complaining, are you?
No, of course not. Oh, actually, yeah, I'm slagging it off. Sorry, Chipper. It's a great present. Thank you. It's good.
Good.
Okay. Actually, Chipper's coming to visit me in a couple of weeks.
Should be telling you off.
Yeah, I know. She can clock me one. Okay. Let's move on then to what we've been doing. Neil, why don't you start us off?
Well, did we mention it was Amazon Prime Day earlier? I think we did, but I went early on the purchase before Prime Day, and I may have got a slightly better deal if I'd have waited. But I went and bought myself an SSD drive, a 2 terabyte SSD drive, like a little M.2 stick.
Is it Samsung?
I didn't buy a Samsung.
Because I saw a Samsung in my feed, which was enticing me, even though I don't own a PS5.
It seems like they're all, even now after Prime Day. I mean, like I say, I bought mine beforehand. They've all been on. They're definitely a lot cheaper than they have been for a while. On Prime
so these
Day,
are all third. Sorry to interrupt you. I just so these are all third party then, but are they specifically for PS5?
Suitable. They have to be. They meet the minimum requirements for PS5, which means they need to have a read speed of over 6,000 megabytes per second, I believe.
Yeah. The Mbps, whatever it is.
Yeah. And this one was over 7,000. It's a NETAC, which I was a bit like, I'm not sure if I want to buy this one. But it was going for 130 quid, but there was a click a button, press, and you get a 20% off. I was like, okay, that's like £106 for 2 terabytes. And it had good reviews. I'm a bit dubious Amazon reviews, but they were literally like, it was like well over the 4 stars into the near the 5 stars. And I was like, read loads of reviews, and plenty of people have put it in a PS5 and said it works great. I was like, okay. So it come with a heatsink as well, so I didn't have to fanny about and all that bollocks, because anything you put in the PS5 has to have a heatsink on, because they get hot running at that speed all the time. So slipped the side plate off the PS5 after I'd unplugged everything, undid the little screw, took the cover off, put the SSD drive in, put the screw in for that, then recovered it up. Bit of a squeeze on the cover. I was a bit like, that definitely feels like it's pressing down on the heatsink, but I was like, it'll be all right. It's not like really hard to get in. It was just literally like it just went. You could feel it was something there. And then put it all back together, plugged it all back in, turned it on, and nothing fucking happened. My PS5 was flashing blue, and I was like, for fuck's sake, what the fuck?
Did you start to get the sweats?
I was like, for fuck's sake, don't tell me it's a dead one. So took it all back, unplugged it all, took it all back apart, had a bit of look. I was like, definitely it was fucking fine completely. I'll tell you what, next time what I'll do is I won't plug my other hard drive baback in the USB port at the back when I turn it on this time. And so turned it on, and it fucking turned on straight away and said, "You've got a new M.2 SSD drive. Shall we format it?" I was like, "Yeah, okay." And it went, formatted it really quickly, and then it all came back to the desktop. And I was like, "Oh, plugged in my other hard drive, my external one for the PS4 games, and it went, "This drive is corrupted because you didn't unplug it properly when you turned it off." I was like, "Fuck! I turned the whole fucking thing off before I unplugged it." So that was I reckon that was what caused the problem the first time I turned it back on. I was like, "Oh, well, fuck's sake!" So it rebuilt the database in about fucking 10 seconds, and it all works fine now.
Oh, okay.
So
you didn't lose everything. And...
No. Well, it's only PS4 games. I could have. I've got enough space to put them on the PS5 drive now. But yeah, so everything's working. Transferred. I downloaded because last normal PS Plus month, one of the games was Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. So I went to install that after I'd moved a few games onto my M.2 drive, make sure it was it transferred everything. I don't know if I've actually played anything. So I moved everything that was massive onto the new drive, and like a biggest one was Gran Turismo, being like a fucking about 130 gig. And so then I installed Call of Duty, and I was like, "Oh, I'll add a couple more games," but I'd still left it set to automatically install to the normal PS5 internal drive. And it came up after a couple of going, "I haven't got room to do this." I was like, "I've literally done 2 fucking games. How has this not got room?" Turns out Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War is 250 fucking gigabytes. I was like, "What the fuck? That's insane.
Outrageous.
Absolutely insane." So I haven't even played it yet. So that's on me. I moved that to my internal drive quite sharpish after discovering that anyway. So, but yeah, it works. It's dead easy. And it turns out M.2 drives of Gen 4 ones at least, which are the ones you need, seem to have got quite cheap. We can still get loads at reasonable prices of like 2 terabytes for 120 quid with heat sinks and stuff like that. So seems like that's the old SATA ones actually look like they're more expensive now, or at the same price as the M.2. Because what's happened is they're bringing out PCIe 5 ones now, which go up to over like nearly 11 gigabytes per second or something read speed. So they're about 50% faster than the Gen 4s again. But obviously they only work on Gen 5 motherboards at the moment on PC, and they've got fucking gigantic heat sinks on, so they will not be fitting in a PS5. That's for sure. But yeah, so that was that.
That's all right.
Yeah. So I was toying with getting one for my PC because I've got 2 M.2s in my PC, but one of them's an old slow one compared to these ones. Maybe I'll just buy another one.
Or you could just swap it out. Swap the one out from your computer and put it in.
Yeah, I can't be funny about doing that every time. But yeah, dead easy.
All right. Well, that's good. Anything else?
I went to the doctors. It was very exciting. It was quite bad news, actually. So.
Oh dear.
I've had to stop running altogether.
Oh dear. Was it
your knee?
No, from my headaches that I was getting.
Oh no.
It turns out I've got high blood pressure. I was like, "Oh, fucking great."
All right, you're going on the old rat poison.
Don't know yet. I've got to report my fucking blood pressure twice a day for the 7 days, except when I first got my blood pressure monitor today. They'd already put me on to day 3. I was like, "Well, I haven't even started doing it yet." That's helpful. So I have to go into some link that they sent me. But yes, not good. It was 140 over 100 or something when I was at the doctor's the other day, and I was like, "That doesn't sound good."
So what are they saying? They think, what is it, just to monitor it first?
So I've got to monitor it for a week.
I don't know how much you want to talk about this on a podcast.
No, it's okay. I'm just going to say, all I've got to do is monitor it for a week, and then I've got to have a blood test as well. Because I haven't had a blood test for ages. And he was like, "You should probably have a blood test at your age." I was like, "Yeah, probably."
Yes, welcome.
Haven't had the finger up the bum yet. But there we go. It's probably coming.
You will.
Yeah, but getting old's great. The NHS suddenly go, maybe we should just make sure you're okay before it's too late. So, yeah, but it is a bit hefty, my old blood pressure. And that he reckons that's probably what was causing my headaches. I was like, "Oh, fuck's sake." Try and get healthy, and you find out you're ill.
No, it's. I mean, it's good, mate. To be fair, it's good. You need to get this sort of stuff addressed, and if you go to the doctors and they do a service like they do in a service on your car, they point you in the right direction, right? And the mindset's right. So
yeah, it may require medication, he said, but it depends what they find out, basically. But we'll see. Hopefully, I've basically until today, I haven't had a drink. I was like, well, I'm not fucking drinking then. Just stopped drinking almost up until today. I haven't had a drink all week. Whereas normally on a Wednesday night, I'll have a few. He was like, how much do you drink? I was like, well, let's see. The other night I went out for about 5 or 6 pints. Then it was like, probably had about another 5 or 6. But it was like, oh, so how many? What? Oh, 16 to 20 units a week. He was like, do you know how many you're supposed to have? I was like
yes.
pretty bad. Like in the way he asked, he'd be like, you're obviously drinking way too much. I was like,
More?
less than that. And I was like looking at the guy, and no disrespect to the guy. It's like he wasn't a skinny chap. Let's put it that way. I was like, you're sitting there. You don't look super healthy either, you know. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Hopefully,
All right.
get it sorted as soon as.
You just replacing beer with roasted peanuts now, aren't you?
Roasted
just
peanuts and Coca-Cola.
Eating loads of vegetables all of a sudden.
That's all
At
right.
least you've got a medical reason not to run anymore.
I was like, this is fucking ridiculous. I'm sure the last time I tried to get fit and healthy, something else bad happened. I was like, this is fucking dumb. I was blissfully unaware, just having an extremely unhealthy life and never having headaches and all that sort of shit. And now you're trying to healthy. Turns out you're fucking ill. Anyway, hopefully you'll be all right.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, you'll be all right. All right. I can go next. I continue to be healthy, or trying to be healthy. I've been swimming a lot, keeping the swimming up, which is good. I'm really pleased with that, and I'm feeling really good for it. I feel like I've turned a corner over the last week, and that I think I might be becoming addicted to getting healthier. Like I got taken out for lunch today, and it was just a shit lunch. And I really, honestly, I had like a burger and onion rings or whatever. They had nothing on the menu.
Did you feel bad afterwards?
Honestly, I left there and I was like, you know what? I would have been happier if I hadn't eaten there, even though like it was a free lunch, right? I would have been happier just to have gone home and had beans on toast, which is a good meal, right? A healthy meal. Until you put all the cheese, until you put it's going to be whole wheat, but then there'll be some mayonnaise and cheese on top of that as well. But
God, who's pinging?
That's me. Sorry, I'll go to mute. But yeah, no, the swimming's good. I'm really still enjoying that. I can't recommend it enough. And I've been that's the main thing. I changed my time for swimming, so I started swimming at 6:30 in the morning, as opposed to like later in the day. It is early. It is
You're
early,
normally up
but
early.
I'm normally up early, and I like the fact that it's done and dusted. That's it. It's done. It's a good start to the day. I'm back.
Gets your metabolism up, doesn't it? At the beginning of the day, go out and do that.
Yeah, I guess. Gets you oxygenated, right?
Assuming you don't drink the water.
Yeah.
I try not to.
Chlorinated.
But yeah, so that's good. What isn't good is Dungeons and Dragons, which I watched the other day with my wife.
Oh, the movie. I was like,
okay, right.
I thought you'd been playing Dungeons and Dragons when I saw that. I was like,
No.
wow, he's taking a full step into Nerdville.
No, my wife and I watched Dune. I watched Dune for a second time. I thought actually that was a really good movie to watch for a second time. There was a lot that actually, you know what we did, because we couldn't really hear the TV very well because we had the back door open, people's air conditioning's going, the living room upstairs isn't very good sound wise anymore. So we have the subtitles on quite often. We'll watch movies with subtitles on. Just takes the hassle out of having to pay too much attention to what you can't hear. God, there's a lot in Dune. There's a lot of lore in there that was tucked in that had completely washed over me when I watched it the first time. It was really neat. It was good going back a second time and getting a chance to take all that in.
Did we discuss this? Have you actually read the books?
I haven't read the books. Likely to never read the books. But it is a really good film. I really enjoyed it again. So that was pretty neat. And yeah, so then we were on a bit of a run to watch movies. So the next day we watched Dungeons and Dragons because that came to Netflix. I'm not saying it's actually, fair play to it. It did make me laugh at some points. For some reason, I really like Chris Pine. And his character, his character in the movie, he's a bit of an anti-hero. So he's always I think he's looking for angles on everything they're doing. It's sort of
the lovable rogue, isn't he?
Exactly. Yeah, totally. Have either of you seen it?
Does he play as a rogue then? Or is he?
No, I think he's a thief, isn't he?
Isn't that?
He plays a thief.
Yeah.
Gentleman thief, right? Thief with morals, which we
Right.
always like in a movie. But yeah, I mean it's okay. The characters are okay. You know, the source, the magician or sorcerer or whatever is, you know, you're led to believe he's next to useless, but he just doesn't believe in himself enough. And Chris Pine helps him find his way, right? And the warrior, she's cold-hearted and whatever, but actually, you know, she becomes a focal point, almost a matriarch of sorts at the end. I mean, it's a fairly well put together movie, satisfies lots of tropes. It was okay. Have not finished it though. No, I didn't finish it.
Were you a fan of the old cartoon back in the day?
Only from only because there was so little to watch on television back then.
I definitely remember watching that.
You know, if one of the networks buys a cartoon like that, all the kids ended up watching it, right? Because BBC showed it at 4 p.m. You know, Gordon the Gopher was there selling it to us, right?
I don't know. When was that? Was that pre fucking, what was the Dogtanian and all that shit? Or was it a similar time to that?
Dogtanian was pretty early. I think that was maybe it was around about that time. I don't know. Dogtanian was brilliant.
And what was the other one? Cities of Gold. That went on for fucking years, it felt like.
Was that the sort of semi-future one?
Mysterious Cities of Gold was like South America, wasn't it? Obviously. It was the conquistadors and all that.
I don't know.
There was a big flying mechanical bird, which was, you know, obviously not real.
Yeah, I think maybe that's what I remember about it. There's some sort of retro futurism about it or something.
Yeah, I guess. And then with some other, there's quite a few others. What was the one? Ulysses. Oh, that went on for ages.
I liked Ulysses. Yeah.
Had a great theme tune too. Yeah, a banger, absolute banger.
So anyway, Dungeons and Dragons. It's okay, I guess.
Quaxo was piped up with Around the World in 80 Days. That was on for ages as well. A lot longer than 80 days. It felt like.
I do remember that one actually.
Yeah. But that's pretty much all I've been up to. Before we go down to 10 hours of discussion about Saturday morning cartoon.
No, it was daytime, evenings.
Sorry, it's just it's normally what I would call Saturday morning cartoons, right? Saturday morning is big cartoon time.
Yeah, we better stop now.
Dave.
Hello. Hi. Hello. I've been travelling. Me and the missus travelled to Wales.
Oh yeah, you're another holiday. Gee whiz, I can't keep up with you.
Well, my daughter's off on a school trip for a week down in Bude in Cornwall, Dorset.
Nice.
So we'd planned it ages ago to go to Wales on a motorbike. The missus booked a place to stay, a really nice place with a jacuzzi and big king bed and posh shower and everything. So proper nice place. And the idea was that we were gonna go on a bike and just do some riding about, do some walks, stuff like that. Well, the morning that we was going to leave, the missus burnt her hand quite badly on the cooker, on the grill. But she doesn't know why she was like, we're doing some bacon butties before we went, and it's a new oven and she'd never used the grill before, so she turned the grill on and then went, oh, I wonder if it's on, and then basically put her hand on the grill.
On the element.
On the element.
Is it electric? Right.
Yes. Oof. Yeah. So
she seared herself.
Yeah, basically, she had a massive line across her hand. So she had her hand under the cold tap for about an hour and a half. She was so pissed off with herself. It was like she couldn't put a glove on. She couldn't grip anything. And it was like, okay, fine, we'll go in the car. And so we drove up, and she had to have a pack of peas on her hand, trying to cool it down between a cloth and everything, with a few stops at some pubs so she can get some ice.
Yeah, a few stops at some supermarkets.
But yeah, no, we went up there. Luckily,
We still went, so that's good.
we still went. Yeah.
Fair play to our good trooper. That's good.
Yeah. No, I nearly said fuck it. We'll take you to the hospital, but she was like, no, it's fine. After sleeping with a cold, wet, icy towel around her hand, like the next morning, she wasn't too bad, so that was good. But no, we went up to Llandudno, which is kind of like a peninsula on the north of Wales, and basically done some beaches along there. Went and had some lovely walks around Snowdonia.
Did you make any friends with some Welshies?
I tried a bit of Welsh.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you have a phrase book?
No. I think I looked it up on my phone. But no. I just got a confused look. I was like, hello.
Can you tell I'm not Welsh?
But no, it was really nice. So we went on the Monday, and we came back on the Thursday. So I haven't really sort of had much gaming time on there, but I just, like we were saying, we want to go again next year on the bike, because the roads in Wales just seem to be awesome. They're
Yeah.
just brilliant, well maintained. There's not too much traffic, as long as you get off the main roads. And yeah, it just seemed really quiet. I think it's like a couple of weeks before the summer holidays, and there just wasn't that many people about. So yeah, we made the most of it.
Yeah, if you avoid Cardiff and Swansea in that area, I think you're fine traffic-wise.
Well, but yeah, there's definitely want to go back. Wales is a lovely country to go around. I could not live there. Just the place names. It's barely impossible to speak. You know,
I'm prepared to take that one on if the place is nice enough to live there.
You know, I think I've probably got a bit of dyslexia.
That doesn't help in Welsh, that's for sure.
Not when they're just randomly throwing letters, like extra L's and W's and hyphens, and it's like, yeah, it just doesn't work with my brain. So no, it's yeah, I even had to look on the Google Maps while we're talking to work out Llandudno, and that's one of the easier ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't it double L? Isn't that not a clach sound?
I
don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah. You have to clear your throat while you're speaking Welsh.
Yeah.
The 1/4 of me that is Welsh is just horrified at this, but it's okay.
I definitely have a lot of Welsh heritage for sure.
You do?
Yeah.
Yeah, good. All right, Taffy.
But no, yeah, it's a beautiful place, and I really want to go back. Just along the north coast. Just beautiful. I know we stayed in Rhyl. I think it's called Rhyl.
Yep.
It's
These are all places I've heard of so far.
Yeah.
I believe I've been to Rhyl.
Okay. It's
that's north. That's real North Wales, though,
that's
right?
Real North Wales. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Scousers go there, because it's right next to Mersey, and Liverpool.
I've suddenly got put off.
Yeah, I think that's what I don't think I've been to Rhyl actually, but what I remember is there was a friend of mine at university. She was from Rhyl, but she sounded like a Scouser,
right?
Yeah. Which was the interesting thing. So I think there's some real closeness between them up there. I mean, listeners can correct me if I'm wrong or talking out my arse, but I remember she didn't sound super Welsh, if I'm remembering correctly.
But when we went, they're having a lot of money spent in the place. Well, it seemed to be. They're having like all the coastal defences upgraded. There's massive projects of big shopping centres and like multiplex cinemas and SeaWorlds, they're all being sort of have been constructed or is in the process of being constructed and stuff. So
yeah,
yeah,
that's all the sort of shit we shut down over the last 20 years.
Yeah. But yeah, like it's just coming to Wales now. But no, it's a nice place. So that's basically it, really. That and the continuation of moving in and moving equipment, moving bits from room to room.
Are you feeling getting nice and settled now, though? In terms
Pretty much, yeah. So
being there, right?
So in the bedroom we had two big, three big wardrobes, and what my injury is from me taking apart one of them and bringing it downstairs and putting it into Vic's art room, and then putting it back together, which has opened up the bedroom, and like doing all these little things is sort of making it our own now. So we're like, oh look, and then we've brought in some extra furniture into where that was before, like a set of drawers and stuff. But yeah, it's getting there. It is, and it was weird coming back from holiday and oh, we're home. You know, not like oh we still feel like imposters in this house.
Yeah.
It's actually like no, we've come home and this is our home now. So yeah, it was really nice in that respect as well. It's like having a few days away and then coming back. So yeah, it's getting there. But yeah, it's just still lots of bits and bobs to do. Like just
never ends.
Yeah, like I was in the
Still
attic.
going at me at my house after 13 years.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I want to run network cables to some power over Ethernet Wi-Fi sort of mesh router upstairs, because the main router down here is miles away from the other side of the house. Don't really get internet over there. So I've been trying to like run cables.
You got a mesh thing?
Yeah, but the walls
Aero
are.
job, isn't it?
Yeah, we've got one Aero that came with our broadband, and we've got the old TP-Link ones. But because all the walls are solid brick, even the dividing walls, like it barely works. So yeah, I've tried it. I've tried like daisy chaining the mesh router, and it's like nah. So I'm downstairs is okay-ish because we don't really use the other side of the house for anything sort of internet related. But I need to run a cable for upstairs for our bedroom and my daughter's bedroom. Because yeah, it's basically no internet up there at all. So yeah, and it's been pissing down today, and then I've also found about 3 gutters that are pissing with water. For who knows, God knows reason. So that's another job I've got to do. I've got to get up on, I've got to get I don't know, 30-foot ladder. Get up and see the gutters. Yeah.
Sounds good.
I did think about paying somebody. I was like, no, I want to do it myself.
I'd pay.
Yeah.
It's high. Don't want to fall out.
You have to set that level, Dave, where you need to try and set that level on what you're prepared to take on as high as possible to keep your costs as low as possible, right?
Yeah, that's it. So I'm going to see how much a ladder is first. And
it was probably cheaper than getting someone out to clean your gutters.
Oh, you don't have a ladder? Yeah, that's how I got my ladder. I just justified it by...
I ain't getting up to clean my gutters, I can tell you that. They're really fucking high in a 3-story house. There's no fucking way I'm getting up there. I've been on the roof. I got out my skylight and went on the roof, and I was like, I'm not even anywhere near the edge, and I'm like, fuck this is high up.
And you went, nah, I'm done.
Yeah.
Yeah, high places. You don't want to. Oh God! I was going to make a joke about the emu guy.
Rod Hull. No. That's in poor taste. I mean, Rod Hull and emu is pretty poor taste.
Yeah, I was going to say which bit's the poor taste bit. Oh no.
All right. Anything else?
That's it.
All right. Let's move on then to what we've been playing.
Mm.
Moving swiftly along. Well, let's go. Let's do one and pass then, shall we?
Okay.
Neil,
Am I
you
going
can start.
first then? Right. I've been playing more
Yes.
Judgment. I ain't going to talk about it loads. I'm just continuing through the story. I don't know how many hours I put in this week.
Is there something batshit insane that happened in it this
I
week?
did take a screen grab of something that was funny, if you're into that kind of thing, I guess. One of the side missions, because you're a detective, obviously, you go and pick up quests, you go and pick up cases off of your board in your office when you between like main story beats. And one that came up, well, there was a second part to one I'd previously done. I don't know if I spoke about this before. Well, the first mission you get is some guy calls you about his sister's panties getting stolen off of her washing line by a guy who's piloting a drone.
Oh.
He steals them with a drone.
What, he's using the drone?
He's using a drone to steal her panties off of the washing line.
Brilliant.
Yeah. And he's, what was he called? The Panty Professor. And then, so I went to my board and there was like an update. I can't remember the guy's name. They're twins, like brother and sister twins. So they look quite similar. And anyway, so the second time is this guy has been harassing his sister. He touched her bum. I can't remember what's he called? Something Groper, I think he's called. I can't remember. And so they come to you and he's like, we want you to try and catch this guy, basically, before he does it again. And he's like, oh, well, the best way is probably to like, try and catch him in the act sort of thing. So he says to the brother, like, you do look quite similar. I don't want to put your sister through it, but if we got you dressed up like as a woman sort of thing, then you could probably pass for her, and you could be the take. And he was like, oh, I don't know about this. So anyway, you decide in the end that she's like, oh, it's okay, I'll do it. I'll be the mark, and he can come after me, and as long as you're there, I'll feel okay. And so what happens is you go off. This is a big spoilers, obviously, for what happens. This is one part of the story. And you're waiting for obviously to watch the guys. You're looking at the girl, but what happens is this guy. You've got a description of the guy. He's got a shaved head, beard, and wears glasses. And you see this guy turn up, and he's got a running vest and running shorts on, and he's got like glasses, beard, and a shaved head. And I'm like, well, I guess this is the guy then, because he told the woman, you're a really sporty looking girl kind of thing. If you should cut your hair to go faster. And so the brother's got shorter hair, obviously, than the girl. And this running guy goes up to the brother, and touches his ass. And he's like, huh? And so you go and catch the guy. You run after him, chase him down. There's a whole like mechanic of chasing people where you have to like an obstacle will get thrown in your way, and you have to like a quick time event to press a button to jump over it or go around it or what have you. And then in this case, you catch him eventually, and you like knock him down, and he was like, whatever. And he's like, oh, going on about this girl, and he was like, oh, I've got to tell you, that wasn't a girl, it was a guy. And he was like, what? He's like, oh, I got hard for a guy. And that was the screen grab I took. And then so because he goes, he's like, oh, he got hard because I'm gonna fight you because I've got hard because I touched this girl's bum. And so you have a big scrap. And then after you've scrapped with him, he tells him he's a guy, and he was just like, it's just fucking dumb. Well, stupid, but there we go. It's got all of that Yakuza-ness about it.
Yeah. That's why I asked.
Yep, there we go. It doesn't disappoint in that respect, and yeah, the story is the story in Yakuza is pretty serious, like the main stories, and the main story in this is pretty cool. You're going to revisit cases from the past, and then when you do like a flashback, and you're actually in your young body, and because you used to be a lawyer before you were a detective, and you go to this like replay out a scenario from when you were younger and all that sort of cool stuff. It's really cool. It is a really cool game. But if you don't like Yakuza, you probably won't like it. It's very Japanese. But yeah, so I'm just continuing on with that. I don't know how much more there is. I think I'm on chapter 6, and I think there's 12 chapters, so I'm probably about halfway through the main story.
Think you're going to finish it?
Yeah, definitely. Now I've got back into it. I'm all in, going on all the way through. But because the story is good. Like the story, I love the stories in the Yakuza games as well, the ones that I played. As long with all the batshit shit that goes on. But yeah, I will be plodding along with that as it goes on.
All right. I can go. Actually, Dave and I both. I share all my games with you guys, so I'm just going to pick one here. I'll pick Zelda. Which probably Dave will. I'm not going to talk a lot about Zelda. I only reason I have it in there is because I did pick it up again this week. And I started making progress on the main storyline. I feel like I'm staring down the end game.
Okay,
wow.
that's probably a lot further than I am.
Well, the other thing is, I mean, if you look on my map, there are vast areas on the map that I haven't discovered yet. Masses of quests. I think at one point I just said, you know what, I am going to go do some quests. And I disappeared off to a village and did a couple of things at this village, like tracked this person or did whatever. But when people are asking me to do jobs, I think in the current, I've been working this is going to be a shocker to Neil, but I've actually been working quite hard, Neil. And
I haven't seen you online much, I have to say.
And I know exactly. And I think when video games start to get me to do tasks, there are a lot of video games that I've just dumped in the past when people are just getting me to do their shit for them. I just find it's just so. Which is okay. Some of it's okay if some of the quests are fine if you're having to figure stuff out or look for stuff. Sometimes that's pretty good. When it's some people asking me to do busy work, I don't know. Sometimes it just rubs me up the wrong way. But I stopped doing that and then did make progress on the main storyline. And I'm not going to tell you what I've been doing because it'd be probably a huge spoiler. So but it still remains fantastic, of course. My son did tell me, like, I think he saw that I was staring at the end game and he was like, have you done this? And I was like, no, this is this sort of quest line. He was like, you have to do it. You have to go do that. It's really good. It's really good. So I got to go do that at some point.
Have you made any crazy constructions?
No, I'm not really too big on the construction. I don't. Dave can probably. I'd be interested in Dave's take on this. I find the construction side of it phenomenally amazing. The way they've done it. It's so easy. It is so. Once you've got the controls down pat for picking stuff up and moving it around and re-angling it or changing the angles or whatever and attaching to stuff, it becomes so easy to do. So the building side of it is really, really good. Have I taken the time to construct anything? No. What I have found though is that I think I'm becoming much better at solving problems through building things. So, for example, there's a dungeon where you have to get up in the dungeon and it only gives you a couple of things to play with. I'm sure that there are numerous solutions, and I feel like I'm making good use of the tools and things that it gives me to get through dungeons very quickly, or shrines. Sorry, not dungeons.
Yeah.
But it's pretty good. But yeah, I don't know, Dave, how you getting on with it?
See, I'm still struggling with the construction part of it. I just can't seem to get the right angle. I think I've just got to play around with it a bit more. But I've been playing it just on the Switch, not on the big TV.
Right.
Because I was playing it while I was away, so I don't know if that had anything to do with it. But I
do you have a Pro controller?
No.
Oh,
no.
Yeah, Pro controller is the way forward. I'm pretty sure.
That's probably what I need to do.
It's such a nice controller too.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I was gonna say I was I did a couple of sort of the main quests, mainline quests as you sort of not long after you get down onto the main floor. I think that's the right way of doing it.
Terra firma.
Terra firma. So I'm not actually that far in, but I've just been doing bits and bobs, just picking up just trying to progress. But as I say, because I'm struggling with the construction part of it, I don't know. I seem to be battling it more than I want to be.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe I need to get a pro controller and.
Yeah, you shouldn't be battling the construction. I think they do. I thought they did a very good job of directing you to some of the shrines that make you get good at it. Right? There are a
Right.
lot of the shrines I think are cleverly dedicated to different aspects of the building. So this one will help you with flying stuff. This one will help you
Wow.
with constructing things. To do this. This one's for stuff that floats, etc., etc.
Right. Yeah. See, I haven't really sort of navigated through any of them. So I think that maybe
But
instead of just hitting
I
it piecemeal, like half hour here,
I
like
was going to
40 hours
say,
there.
there was a point where the game really just changed for me and I was doing huge chunks. There was like a good week where I did nothing but play Zelda, like
Right.
massive, good 3 to 4 hour sessions. You know how to do a 3 to 4 hour session on a
Oh yeah,
game.
yeah.
You need to get that shit on a television and do some
Yeah.
big sessions.
Yeah.
Make it comfortable for yourself. Enjoy it, right?
Yeah, and I think that's
Um,
that's probably it. I'm like just doing like tiny bits and then sort of walking away from it and then going back and then trying to relearn
yeah.
something that
You
I'm
can
not very good at anyway. So
Yeah,
yeah,
there was a turning point I had where I suddenly became very, very aware of all the abilities that it had given me, and I said,
right.
and and you sort of can train yourself as well to know that if you're in a like I made such a noob error. There's this one point where I was up in the sky, and I was like, I want to get to point B over there, um, and I was having a terrible time of it, right? It took me hours and hours and hours, and I had completely forgotten that I had the ability to just go up things, right?
Oh
Like kind
right,
of the ascend or whatever.
right. Yeah.
And then once I remembered that, went back, I could do it in like 5 minutes,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
It was just done.
Yeah.
So you need to keep at it, to keep training yourself to use the abilities. And if anything is ever taking you too long to do, then you're missing the point of what you're
Yeah.
supposed to be doing, right? It's very well crafted.
Yeah. So hopefully I'll get some time in. It's just time for everything, isn't it nowadays?
Yep.
But yeah, yeah, I definitely want to get back into it because what I play of it, I do enjoy. But then like I come away and go, I've still not progressed
Don't
as
feel
much
like you
as I
made any
want.
progress.
Yeah, that's it.
Mm.
So yeah,
Yeah.
Zelda.
Okay. Well, Zelda still remains excellent. Dave needs to play more.
Yep.
All right.
Okay, is that back to me then?
Yes.
All right. I played. We talked about Hammer Watch 2 last week, the demo. And I said I haven't actually played the original. So I went back and started playing the original. It's pretty good. It's a bit more simple than the new version I found because I've just started playing this on a controller, and now it's really difficult to find a video for the original Hammer Watch. I've just discovered because they're all Hammer Watch 2 videos now on YouTube. But so it's a top-down pixel RPG from whatever. I don't know how old it is now. 2013, quite a while. It's already 10 years old. And yeah, so I'm playing on my own. You can play in a party of up to 4, I believe. Certainly looks that way from the video I'm watching. And I'm playing as a paladin, which may not have been the best choice because when I went back after I died, it said maybe play as the archer guy. I think it's a rogue. As a beginner, I was like, okay. I guess you can keep your distance and from the baddies, and you've got a bow and arrow to shoot things from a distance. Whereas with a paladin, you have to you've got a sword and a shield, and you're like having to literally batter things with your shield, sword, and hopefully your shield will protect you. But maybe it doesn't. I made some discoveries fairly late on, but in good time, because I beat the first boss basically. It's quite a big area to explore. Those are secret areas, like maybe you need to break a wall down to get through, or press some buttons to open some walls that are there.
Ooh, buttons.
And there's a few little puzzles to do, but I did find that when I went into the control menu, I was like, that's good to know. Because normally, every time you press X, basically, we're swiping this sword. So when there's lots of enemies, which happens quite a lot, and they horde towards you, pressing X a lot gets quite tiresome. But what I did find in the controls, if you hold R1 or RB on a PlayStation controller and then press X, it just goes like super fast. I was like, that's really helpful. So that made a big difference to the game. Yeah, so you're just wandering around like an old medieval castle, basically, like a maze. Killing loads of shit, finding keys, unlocking rooms, killing load more shit, eating some apples and some oranges to get your health back. And,
oranges?
Yeah, big oranges, like the same size as a human, apparently, in this game. And so are the apples, gigantic. And yeah, there's like beetles, bats, maggot things which are gross and poison you. And yeah, so the first boss was the queen maggot thing, which had a fairly straightforward procedure. I died once doing the first boss. It was pretty easy. And then the second level, you go further into the castle and there's new enemies. And yeah, that got a lot fucking harder, and I died. I lost about 7 lives fairly quickly in the second area. I was like, I don't know. Maybe I'll go back with a different class. Maybe I'll just be playing other games that I've picked up recently. But it's cool. It'd probably be quite fun in a little party of 2 or 3 or 4 or whatever. Because it is a bit like, I don't know if you remember Old Gauntlet. It's a bit more simple looking than Old Gauntlet even. Because it's proper like, you are small in terms of the number of pixels being rendered for your character. Whereas I seem to, the original Gauntlet on my Commodore 64 was less colourful than it's thinking about it.
Yeah, this looks much better than Gauntlet.
Yeah. But I guess the arcade Gauntlet might have looked a bit better. I don't know, maybe. I can't remember. But yeah, similar to Gauntlet for people who are old. And that was similar. You could play 1 player or 2 player or 3 up to 4, couldn't you, on the arcade and things. So, but yeah, it's kind of cool. It's cool, and it was literally like, even at full price nowadays, it's probably about £3 or something stupid. But yeah, I might be done with it unless someone else decides to play. So, but we'll see. That's Hammerwatch.
That's Hammerwatch. Okay. I think it would have to be a $2 game for me to buy that and play it with you, not a $12 game.
It's not $12, is it?
Yeah.
Really? Wow. It was cheap the other week.
Yeah, it was probably cheap on the yeah. I'm not going to add it to my wish list either. Okay, I've got Hunt Showdown. I'll talk about Hunt Showdown briefly because we're still in the throes of the event, which is going well.
I need to ask you a question while you're talking here.
You might as well ask me the question because I don't really know.
The question I have is, I got an email from the Hunt Showdown people today saying, obviously they realised they haven't been playing, I'm guessing, and they said, why don't you have some rewards to tempt you to come back and play? So I got gifted, I haven't claimed any of it yet, 750 event points. And I was like, is that a lot of points? Or is that like, I'll go in there and go, oh, that's fuck all.
Nah, it's not a lot.
And I got gifted some guns and stuff, but they're single use. Like, I get them while I'm not alive, and if I die with them, then I lose them. They're not in my. They don't unlock them for me to rebuy. They're just like.
No,
one-offs.
I mean, look at some 750 event points. Ugh. No. It's like the 4,000.
I suspected as much.
It's like the 4,000 hunt dollars that they entice you with by registering your account. I mean, really, at the end of the day, it's nothing, is it? Right? I mean, every time we prestige, we dump about 12 or 14,000 hunt dollars down the drain. So, nah, that shouldn't be your reason. That shouldn't be your reason to be coming back. But I would say you should dip your toe back in, though. Come for a run with us. There's some neat new stuff in there. Go. I mean, even just come in and go for a wander and try and find the crocodile. Rotjaw.
Crocodile. What's his name?
Yeah, or she. Rotjaw.
Oh, Rotjaw. I thought you said Roger.
Rotjaw. Yes. Ratjaw.
Right.
Yeah, she's in there. Although, like, it's interesting you say that though, because I played this morning. I tried to sneak in a couple of games this morning before I had to go out. And I only managed to get one. Probably because time was getting eaten away searching for a game. Now I'm looking for a game at 6 o'clock in the morning, 5:30,
Yes.
6 o'clock in the morning. Searching the East Coast and the West Coast servers. I could probably have got a quicker game going
Go
to
to
Europe.
Russia. Always get a game in Russia, apparently.
Man, my ping in Russia is no. Not going to happen. But I really had to wait quite a while to get into servers. Now I did get full games, but it felt like I waited ages. So I wonder whether their player count is really taking a dive. Possible. Who knows? Anyway, I'm looking. I'm just not getting a chance to play that much of it, but I did play quite a bit earlier on in the week. Very enjoyable as usual with the guys, and I'm enjoying playing solo a lot too, which is good. Actually, and just as an extra, I should just do my typical. I've played Valorant as well because I dipped my toe into.
I did see you playing that at the weekend.
Yeah, Arnie. We played a game because there were 4 of us. I think we knew Arnie was coming. There were 4 of us hanging out. So let's play. Let's give Arnie his one game of Valorant that we let him have out of us. We played I can't remember. Did we play a comp and it was just dreadful? Then we played unrated and it was great. Yeah. So again, Valorant is Valorant. Hunt is Hunt. Continuing to just dipping my toe in Valorant here and there and playing Hunt whenever I can. Business as usual on that front. Yes. Dave?
What have I got? I've got Bit Battle Remastered. No, Battle Bit Remastered. Every time I even wrote that down, and Fred was like, "You wrote it wrong." I was like, oh, sorry. I looked so stiff, and then like I've literally written it down, Battle Bit Remastered, and said it, Bit Battle Remastered. Battle Bit Remastered. I'm playing some more of that.
I bought this. I don't know if you saw.
I didn't see. No, I played a little bit.
I know what else has happened since you
last
bought
night.
this.
Oh, you've refunded it.
Yes.
Didn't you like it? Didn't you go on with it?
It's not that I didn't like it. It was I played it and I thought this is pretty neat. The gunplay seemed pretty cool. I liked the humor and maybe the attitude that they had. Like I did the training session, and you turn when you're doing the training session. There's one bit where you turn around the corner and it's got all this writing on the wall that tells you how to do stuff, and then you could turn the corner and there's another one about combat. And you turn around, it's got all the writing on the wall, and I think it just says, somebody scrolled right over the top of it, just says, just shoot people, right?
Yeah.
So their attitude to it and the humor seems pretty good. And like the gunplay seemed fine. I could see why it's rated for sure. But I played a game and it was pretty frenetic, and I pushed well and I killed a few people. And then some guy just comes bunny hopping over the top of this tank and just wrecked me. And I thought okay, that's fair enough. I have no idea how he did that or where he came from. I found it very difficult to differentiate between team members and enemies. I didn't like that.
Right.
But I could see how it could be a lot of fun. But I ended up just saying, you know what? The only way this is truly going to be fun is if I start pumping hours into it, and I just don't have hours to pump into another game like that. So it was
another shooter that you just don't have time for.
Just no space for it.
Yeah.
But it was interesting to see it. And
yeah, it's weird with the graphics. Like they are very simplistic, but it's the gunplay, the movement, the tools that you have on hand, not only the guns but everything else, the classes, and how you unlock that. It's still minus the what would be the great graphics, there is still a good game there.
Yeah.
And it's got a charm about it. That's what I like. And everyone's I don't know if you heard if you had the voice on or not, the kill
I did. I
screams,
didn't
and
hear anything though.
did you not?
Maybe I didn't have it set up right.
But yeah, it's just got a real nice charm about it, and just very easy to jump into a game and play and then turn off. So yeah, I'm still enjoying it. I'll continue playing it. That'll be my game that I just mess about with. But I won't be. It won't be my sort of hours and hours and hours into it. That goes to a different game that I actually forgot to write down here. Oh no!
And that game is, I can't remember.
Diablo 4.
Yeah. Oh, that one. Yeah.
How did you forget?
But I'll talk about that after.
No, you can talk about it now.
Okay. I'm still playing Diablo 4. I played a lot on the weekend. I didn't play any in the week until yesterday or today. I can't remember.
See, that's your Zelda time right there.
Yeah, I know. It's I'm not sure. I really like the game. But there's a season, sort of a season event coming up that you need to complete the story before you want to go into the seasoned event, because you need to create a new character, and it's a continuation of the story of the non-season event. I don't know.
The main campaign, I guess.
Yeah. So I want to get through the campaign to get that done. I'm definitely not going to get full level or anything. But because you've got to create a new character, it doesn't really matter to start playing the seasoned stuff. So I've been chatting to Marcanix today, invited to the Overseas Connection clan on Diablo 4. So I'll have some people to play with and group up with. And
have you played with anyone co-op
No.
at all? Oh, okay, so that'd be interesting to see how that is.
Yeah, that would be good. Apparently, there's a couple of them on. They've been playing cross PlayStation, Xbox, and PC, all playing together in the same area. So I'm not 100% sure how it works with like story progression, stuff like that. I don't know. I'll
Becomes a lot
give
easier
it
if
a
you've
go.
all finished the story, I guess, and then you're just playing end game stuff, isn't it?
Yeah. Doing the extra things, or there is a world event that happens every now and again as well. Well, I think it's like the end, but like the main boss or a boss shows up randomly. I know I did see there was a website that's got like different event counters on, and it tells you when things are on and when they are and stuff. So there's a lot that I still don't know about it. But yeah, it's still fun, still very easy, still playing it on my like I think that's my 360 Xbox 360 control. Yeah, my Xbox controller. Apparently the Barbarian's the best one to play with a controller, so that's what I am. So when I do a new character, I'll probably roll something else. But not a Barbarian, because I want to sort of change up. There's still only 4 different types of character you can be at the moment. I know they have. I've seen stories that have done a new type of character in Immortals, Diablo Immortals, and people are speculating that it's going to come to Diablo 4. I don't know if it will or not. It's like a vampiric character. So yeah, it's good. It's still very popular. Yeah, I had to actually queue to get into a game today, which I've never had to do before.
Oh, that's interesting.
It was only for like 30 seconds to a minute, but it was like, yeah, servers full, queuing, and then I got in. So yeah, whether they sort of, I don't know, getting more popular or just sort of naturally ramping down servers but doing it too quickly. I don't know. Yeah, still very good.
Interesting.
All right. Diablo 4,
Yes.
ladies and gentlemen.
Right.
Go on then, Neil. Do you want to do
What do you
your last one and then we'll finish on the other one?
Yeah, I'll talk. I've only played a little bit of this game. It's the new hotness that people may have seen.
I have heard of this.
It's called Dave the Diver. I think Dave should play this game. So it is a Dave game. It's got Dave in the title, and it's pretty Davey.
I've heard it. I've seen it's got very good. Well,
yeah,
not good reviews.
It sold some ridiculous amount of copies in since it's come out. So people who made it have done very well. And it turns out it's got overwhelmingly positive reviews for quite a good reason. From what I've seen so far, it's pretty funny. You are playing as this titled Dave the Diver. You dive, and your name's Dave. You start at the start of the game. You're obviously on a holiday, and you get a call from your mate called Cobra, who tells you he wants you to come back and work for him because he's opened a sushi bar, or he's opening a sushi bar. But the thing about this sushi bar is it's right next to this place called the Great Big Blue or something like that, or the Great Blue Depth or something. And the thing about this place is obviously it's water and it's full of fish, which you need for your sushi bar, A. And B, it changes every time you go in it, supposedly. So it's, I guess, procedurally generated, some sort of thing. It doesn't seem to it doesn't change loads every time I've been in so far. But it's all like real nice pixel art, like not old school pixel. It's like, it's new. It looks like a new game, but it's pixel. And so you basically, during the daytime, have to dive in the water, catch fish, and among other things, as in the more times, I've only played literally half an hour, but the more you play, the more weird shit happens. But initially, you basically go in to catch fish so that you can serve them in the sushi restaurant at night. And there's, however many millions of different fish to catch as time goes by. And then in the evening, you run in the sushi bar. You've got this super sushi chef who does all the cooking. You then have to serve all the customers. So it becomes a little bit like restaurant manager. You like running up and down the bar, picking up the fish, serve it to the customer, pour them some green tea, and then if they're happy, if you do it quickly and well enough, they give you loads of money. And obviously, the more money you get, you can spend the money on. You've got to do up the sushi bar because it gets trashed at the beginning of the game by an earthquake or something. And also, you need to upgrade all of your diving stuff as time goes by. You have a little mobile phone that you open to do everything on. Like, as time goes by, more apps appear on your phone, allowing you to do more stuff. But the simple loop of just diving in the water, swimming around, and catching fish with your harpoon gun. Sometimes your harpoon gun's not big enough or strong enough to catch some fish. Sometimes it might be on the borderline, in which case you're doing the action to catch the fish, and you might have to like wham the A button if you use an Xbox, or X if you're using PlayStation, to boost your power to catch the fish. Sometimes it will literally just come off because it's not strong enough. So you can level up your harpoon guns as time goes by, obviously, to catch bigger fish. Bigger fish means more portions for your sushi bar. You have to manage, like, you go in at the beginning of every night of the sushi bar before you open, add stuff to the menu based on which fish you caught during the day, or which ones you've already caught, or whatever, previous days. And then there's all this other batshit stuff that goes on, which I haven't really got into yet. But I've literally just found out that the guy comes along and says, there's this weird race of sea people that live under the sea here in this weird place that they're on the screen if you're watching. They haven't been seen for so long and all this sort of thing, and we think they're still here. We found evidence of them in this place, and I haven't actually encountered them yet, but as you upgrade your dive suit, you can dive deeper in the water. And I've literally, the last dive I did, as I was going, there was some oxygen tanks in underwater. So basically, what your whole life energy type thing is based on your amount of oxygen you've got in your tank. So if you take a hit by a dangerous fish, for example, then you lose a bit of oxygen. If you go too deep, you start losing more oxygen. If you dash, use the sprint sort of swim, then you use up more oxygen than you would be if you were just going normally. And yeah, so far it's really cool. I've literally played it for half an hour. The music's really good, like really fucking good. It's really well made, obviously, so far, and I'm definitely going to be playing some more as we time
So you
goes
was
by.
playing it before
Yeah.
you jumped on today.
Literally, that was my half an hour that I'd managed to get in before. It's very cool. It's like I say, it's quite funny. The art's amazing, music's amazing. So, and yeah,
Sorry, my camera shit the bed.
yes, hasn't it?
I don't
We'll just
know
have
why.
you with your spinning blue squares. So yeah, look out if you haven't. It was on sale for like 10% off during Steam sale. It's only about 15 quid, I think, full price or whatever, 17 quid maybe at full price. Here we go. He's back. But yeah, very cool game so far. But literally, it's been half an hour. But like I say, I know it's doing big numbers on Steam.
Yeah, looks like it. Looks like they've got them. They say congratulations on 1 million users.
Yeah.
I don't know whether that's 1 million sales, but 1 million users anyway. Anyway, they're up there.
It's flying off the shelves, the virtual shelves, as we say.
Very nice.
So, but yeah, real nice, real quite chilled, but at the moment anyway.
Good.
And yeah, so far everything I've been asked to do has been fun. So I was watching it going, I'm not sure about that whole managing the sushi restaurant part of it to me. But since I played it, I was like, that's fucking really easy. It's really, really, they don't make it too complicated, and it's just like, yeah.
It's not like cook serve delicious.
No. It's literally you're just running up and down the bar, and you've got a little stamina bar. So if you're running along trying to serve too many customers, because he's a big lad. He's a big lad, Dave.
It's exhausted.
He runs out of stamina
easily.
quick. So it's all pretty funny and light-hearted so far. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. Check it out.
Actually, well, I mean, saying that, I got a message from Neil the other day who said there's a game called Halls of Torment. You should
check it out.
And I would like for the record and people to remember that Neil recommended a game and told me to check it out, and so I did.
Yes.
I just went straight away, saw that it was cheap, and bought it.
Yes. It's cheap at full price.
Yeah.
I think it's £5 at full price.
I don't even think it cost me that much. I think
it was on sale.
$6 or something. Oh yeah, okay, right. Yeah, so I got it on sale. Yeah, Halls of Torment. It scratches your Vampire Survivors itch, pretty much, right?
It is Vampire Survivors, but nicer looking and slightly different, obviously.
Yeah, I've been dipping my toe in Vampire Survivors like games. In fact, I just uninstalled Time Wasters, which was another one. Yeah. So I'm willing to try these games. I'm sort of impressed with this one. Yeah, you're right. It's all right.
Yeah, I
like it.
There was a prelude. It is so effectively a demo, which is quite extensive because I certainly didn't finish it when I was playing it, and I was just like, I played for about a demo thing. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to buy this. It's like fucking £4 or whatever, £3 at the time. Yeah, it's Vampire Survivors, but with I saw someone say it's like going from the NES version of like something to the SNES version of something.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
So it's an upgrade in visuals for sure. Definitely some different mechanics. You are actually in control of the direction you are aiming your weapon in this game. Well, you can actually auto aim apparently. But
can you?
You can. There's in the menus. There's a thing to switch auto aim.
Yeah, that's not. See, this is the problem I have with it. Is that yes, you can aim. So it's like sorry if you can hear that. My dog is just destroying a cow's bone behind me. But sorry, yeah. You can aim, so it's like a twin stick shooter in a way.
Yeah.
It's Vampire Survivors as a twin stick shooter. So your right thumbstick is aiming, and what you can auto fire it, but it's not auto direction. Then
so you can, like when I looked in the options, because initially when I first started playing it, I was using mouse and keyboard, and I was clicking the mouse like as if it was Diablo, to actually aim at stuff. Like I was using my mouse obviously to aim around the screen, and then clicking the mouse to make it trigger. And then I realised actually I wasn't triggering it at all with my mouse. I was just it's auto firing.
Right.
But you can turn that off, I believe, in the options. You can just.
I wasn't getting auto firing.
Yeah, maybe that's because I used it with mouse. I think. I don't know. Anyway, it's in the options. You can turn that on.
Okay, so that's good that it's in the options, because playing something like Vampire Survivors and you have to press the fire button all the time is all pretty quick. It's okay in certain situations, but really your rate of fire is so much that it shouldn't be an issue.
No,
you're literally
fire on for sure.
Yeah, you're literally collecting things that you're making selections to increase your rate of fire, right? So,
yeah.
But yeah, it's got similar sort of stuff, like increasing the range and damage of your weapons and increasing your.
I've barely scratched the surface in my 4 hours of gameplay for sure. There's loads of characters to unlock.
Oh,
it's technically an early access still. So
you should be a lot further than me. Although I don't know how much.
I don't know if about much further. I've still only got 2 characters to choose from.
Yeah, so have I.
And I've got to. I don't know. I haven't made the 30 minutes for sure when the big boss comes. I've killed it. Like you play for so long, and you're playing like against minions. Like in the first level, it's all like skeletons, and you start off with a swordsman as your first character, and he swishes his sword, and there's like an area of attack in front of him that you can see the cone and how far it goes out to cause damage. Anything in that path will take damage of whatever it is, 100 damage or whatever. Then as time goes by, every time you kill something, it drops like a little blue crystal. I don't know if you've seen them somewhere before, maybe in Vampire Survivors, that you pick up a few of them and then you get to level up. And then it goes to a screen and you get a choice of 4 things, which are usually things like increase attack speed, increase weapon power, increase your block or defense, or I don't know,
increase your movement speed.
Yeah, movement speed. Fuck knows how many other things that come up. Because as you go through the game, you find things that expand your options. So I found the Well Keeper. Don't know if you found the Well Keeper yet. But
no, I found one.
I think he's the first character the NPC that you find in the dungeons.
No, I haven't. No, I haven't found anything like that. Yeah. There were some things that I was like, yeah, that's pretty cool. Like, there's braziers to knock over that set everything on fire, and you can lead the enemies into that. I like the fact that it was throwing tons and tons of minions at me, and then suddenly it would just pop in like a badass, right? Which Vampire Survivors did, but I get the feeling that the Vampire Survivors didn't give you badasses quite as badass as these guys.
No, these guys take a lot of hitting.
They do take a lot of licks. So yeah, that was pretty neat.
And
there was one point
you still got the minions to deal with while these big guys are coming around as well.
Yeah. There was one point where there were 3 sort of like odd circles on the ground and a number. And I had completely ignored it and went off and fought for 5 minutes away from this thing. And then suddenly I realized, hang on a second, that number's ticking down. How was that number ticking down? And then I realized I had to kill things within its circles, basically almost like sacrificial. Right. And then that did something cool. There's some really neat.
There's some other things to do with that I found one of those circles in one of my runs, and then later on I found something else that's linked to those circles, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. I didn't notice that before.
Oh, okay.
And there might be another thing that you need to do.
Right. So I think we're just scratching the surface of this now. Yeah.
This is early stages of Vampire Survivors. It's like, this looks fairly simple on the surface, and then you start to scratch a bit deeper. Oh, okay, I've just unpeeled something else, another layer to this game I didn't know there was there.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see.
This is the one, I think, of all of the ones that I've seen that could take the crown, if you like, of these games.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. I think you're probably right. And then it's going to be interesting just over the coming weeks to see what gets revealed. So I hope I go back to it.
I've watched a few Twitch streams, and it definitely goes to those levels. Like, I've not seen anything like in my own personal playthrough that made me go, "Oh yeah, it's now getting fucking crazy." Where in Vampire Survivors you unlock up certain stuff. It feels like that went quite quick in Vampire Survivors. The stuff you unlocked, I feel like you need to do a bit more to unlock stuff in this so far.
I think you would probably want to check your numbers on Vampire Survivors, and how much time you put in it. Because
I did put in a lot of time.
Because people like, here I go, Vampire Survivors, 25 hours.
Yeah,
those are rookie numbers for Vampire Survivors.
We did play it on Game Pass first, I think, for a bit.
For a little while, yeah, there were definitely a few hours on Game Pass first.
But I think I definitely feel like this is a bit of a slower burn so far. But I've watched some people Switch streams, and I'm like, they've got access to shit that I have not seen a hint of in this game so far.
Right.
So I stopped watching those.
Yeah, so that looks pretty good. Something that we'll continue to play.
It's a value for money proposition for sure at £5 or whatever.
Yeah. Halls of Torment. There you go. You heard it here first.
Yeah, you won't hear that on the Veteran Gamers, I can assure you.
Ginny or anywhere else. Okay, well that's pretty much brings us to the end then, if I'm not mistaken.
I think that's it, isn't it?
Short and sweet, short-ish and sweet.
Always sweet.
Very. Okay, all right then. Well, that leaves us, Dave, just to do your bit, I guess.
Okie doke. Thank you for listening to the Seal Podcast. If you'd like to ask us questions or get involved, please contact us either on Twitter at Seal Podcast, email us at sealpodcast@gmail.com, or join us on our Discord server. A link is pinned on Twitter. We have YouTube and Twitch channels, which we upload and stream to. I was going to say do a shout out for chat, but it's
just Craxel again.
Craxel. Yeah.
Thanks for joining, Craxel.
Thanks for the sub, Chill Robots. Do we have any thread? Do we have a thread?
No, I haven't done anything with that. No one said anything, so it's not going
I know what?
Threads. The new
Twitter. Threads. Oh, that. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, you could be subscribed to 100 different things if we wanted to.
No.
All right. Okay. Well, look, thanks very much, everyone. Appreciate it. Hope you're enjoying your summer. Are your kids off yet?
Not yet.
Thursday, mine finishes. Well, my daughter's been off ages, so she's been working loads.
Yeah. Yeah, my kids have been off for a couple
I am
of weeks
away next week now. I need to say.
Oh, it is next week?
It is now. We had a holiday booked. It was next week. Got cancelled last night, but we've now booked another one. We're going to Centre Parks in Sherwood Forest.
Nice.
Christian country.
It's nice, huh?
Okay, good.
The pool's the main event there.
Yeah, well, that's the only thing that's included in the price. So
there you go. You start your swimming adventures.
Yay.
Yeah.
Every morning, go and do.
I'm not going swimming in that fucking pool, am I? I'm not doing lengths there, am I?
I don't know. Get up early.
I'll get down the slide. Get down the whatever slide it is.
The rapids. Yeah.
Go and break my leg or something.
So when are you off?
Friday. We're going Friday to Friday, but we're back. We should be back in the following Friday because we've got to be out by about 10.
Neil will make sure he gets back for the podcast.
I was literally looking at buying a gaming laptop, not to do the podcast, but my son was like, my wife said maybe we could take the PS5 or something, and my son was like, PS5, I don't play on that. I was like, what about the Xbox? He's like, maybe. And he was like, can we take a computer? I was like, no, we're not taking a fucking computer. But I was like, well, maybe I could just buy a laptop because he's been playing loads of Football Manager recently for some reason.
All right. Okay, don't buy a gaming laptop.
It's only about £1,000.
Yeah, it's only. All right. Okay. Well, look, thanks very much. Much appreciated. We'll catch up with Neil then in a couple of weeks, and Dave and I will see you next week. Until then, have yourselves a great weekend, all that sort of good stuff, and start enjoying your summer, and we will catch you later.
See you soon.
Thanks, guys. Bye.